Today we are going to talk about the parts of a polyhedron, the parts of a 3D object. When we talk about 3D objects, we use different vocabulary terms than we would if we were talking about a 2D object. So we will kind of talk about some of those comparisons and the differences today. We are going to start by thinking about a cube. So it might be useful to you to think about a real life cube. For example, a dice. A dice is also in the shape of a cube. So thinking about a cube as we go through these vocabulary words. The first thing we're going to talk about is the flat surface. Okay, so these flat surfaces here. A lot of people might refer to these as sides, but mathematically they are called faces. So all of those flat surfaces that build up your 3D object are called faces. All of our faces intersect. Here it looks like a black line, but think about kind of that where those faces meet on a die. That's called an edge. Okay, so where the faces meet are called edges. And then lastly, our edges all intersect at what many refer to as a corner, but mathematically is referred to as a vertex. So we can kind of look at those vocabulary words down here if you wish. Your face is the flat surface. Your edge is that line segment where your faces kind of come together. And then lastly, you've got those vertices, a vertex right here where your edges intersect. So when we are talking about these 3D figures, a lot of times we will count their faces, edges, and vertices, which will help us determine the name of our 3D object. To help us do that, you can continue thinking about that die or other cube-shaped object in your head. But we also have a website here. So if I click on this, it'll take me up to this website here. Now, right here, we have our spinning cube. Personally, I think that's a little confusing. At some points, it kind of morphs into something that doesn't totally look like a cube. So I am actually going to click this button, this spin button, and pause that spinning. I don't really like the spinning, but what I can do is drag it to kind of help me look at it a little bit better. Okay, so this is my cube. I can take a look at all different sides from here to see my cube. Okay, so what's cool about this cube also is that it is 3D. And see-through. So I can go ahead and turn it and see the other sides. So my faces, again, I liked where it was. Okay, my faces, right, are those flat surfaces. So if I were to count the flat surfaces of this cube, we've got this big front one right here. We've got this one right here off to the side. Behind, we've got one. And then the other side, we've got one. So again, think of a cube. We've got 4 lateral faces here, 4 along the sides. Then we've got one up top. And since it's a solid, we must remember that we have one on the bottom. So if I have 4 lateral, so 4 side faces, then I've got one on the top and one on the bottom. That means that I have a total of 6 faces. I can kind of look at my object here as well. I've got my front one, my side one, my top one. I know I have one behind here, one to the side, and one on the bottom, giving me a total of 6. Next, I'm going to count my edges. Now, because I know that my faces all have, in this instant, 4 edges, I need to remember that I cannot double count. So if I go ahead and call this one edge for this face, I can't then count it for this face as well. So what I like to do is I actually count my bases first. So those top and the bottom. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 down on the bottom, 5, 6, 7, 8. That covers almost everything. The only thing I'm missing, 8, is I've got these ones that connect my two bases. Okay, so 1 more, 2 more, 3 more, 4 more, giving me a total of 12. I've got 4 down here, 4 up here, and then 4 additional along the sides, giving me 12 edges. And then lastly, I've got my vertices. So again, I count those. Again, it's a little bit easier here, or if you have an actual cube shape with you. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 up top, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have a total of 6 faces, 12 edges, and 8 vertices. As we continue through our different polyhedra, this website is going to be incredibly useful. So when you're doing your assignment, make sure to click on the name of your figure, and it'll take you to these figures that you can kind of move around and play with, and it'll help you count a little bit more easily while you figure out faces, edges, and vertices.